Hey, what's good, ladies and gentlemen? RFG's here today. I'm gonna try to wake a lot of people up with this information. Um, this is gonna be touching on the overall importance of mummification, and I think this information basically blew past a lot of people's heads, and nobody really caught on to what's going on and what took place with our ancient ancestors. Okay, in the ancient times. Okay, so when we look into this mummification process, okay, this had to be the most sacred process performed on a human or any other living being, okay, after they went through their transition process. Okay, right here, you see what I'm saying? In the basic description, it says a mummy is a deceased human or an animal whose skin and organs have been preserved by either intentional or accidental exposure to chemicals, extreme cold, very low humidity, or lack of air, so that the recovered body does not decay further if kept in cool and dry conditions. Some authorities restrict the use of the term to bodies deliberately embalmed with chemicals, but the use of the word to cover accidentally um, desiccated bodies goes back to at least 1615 AD. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna basically shake the foundations of a lot of people's beliefs by this statement. Okay, we are all supposed to be mummified after we die. Okay, after our soul leaves our body, we are all supposed to be getting mummified after our death. That goes with animals as well as humans. Okay, we're all supposed to be getting mummified. Okay, let me explain. Okay, the mummification process basically, you would take out all of the remaining organs out of the human body. Okay, and most of the human organs were put in something known as canopic jars. Okay, and these canopic jars were basically used as objects to keep pieces of our soul, keep pieces of our essence available for our ancestors to speak to and to communicate with. Okay, because every organ in our body, every piece of our body has a piece of our carbon, okay, that is laying dormant inside of it. So this carbon inside of our organs, inside of our bodies, can be used as mechanisms, as tools for communication, for our ancestors to communicate with our spirits when our spirits are still dwelling in other dimensions. Okay, so this is what our ancestors did after they mummified their loved ones' bodies. Okay, after the mummification process, they used our bodies as tools of communication to the afterlife, to and from the afterlife. Okay, so when you look at what melanin is carbon. So that carbon can basically be used, okay, to communicate with with our souls, with our spirits in the afterlife. Okay, this is what's known as a Horcrux. If you study the Harry Potter books or you watch the Harry Potter movies, okay, right here, here's the definition of a Horcrux. Says the exact definition of a Horcrux is a receptacle prepared by dark magic, in which a dark wizard has intentionally hidden a fragment of his soul for the purpose of attaining immortality. The concept of a soul container. Okay, a soul container, aka the genie in the bottle. Okay, so when you talk about the mummification process, we have 13 chakras. So basically, anywhere from 7 to 9 of those chakras would be staying behind in the third dimension. Okay, I'd say about six chakras would be staying behind in the third dimension, and the other 7 would be moving on into the afterlife, okay? 7 over 6. Your lower 6 chakras would be staying, okay, in the afterlife, and on the third dimensional realm, and then this higher 7 would be in the 5th dimensional realm. Okay, 7 chakras ascending into the afterlife, the lower 6, okay, staying on this earthly realm. Okay, this is what the canopic jars were. They were horcruxes that held pieces of our souls. Okay, each organ carries a different amount of carbon, okay, in our bodies that can be tapped into to communicate with us in the afterlife. Okay, and the doctor that basically put this science to the forefront was none other than Dr. Layla Africa. Okay, I want a lot of people to start to study a lot of Dr. Layla Africa's work, because he definitely hit the nail on the head, okay, when he covered this subject. Okay, there's liquid melanin, there's gas melanin, and then there's solid melanin. Okay, melanin and carbon doesn't die. It does not die. It only transforms, ladies and gentlemen. It only transforms. Okay, and you can still communicate with certain ancestors in the afterlife, okay, by tapping in to their lower chakras, because you'll be tapping into their higher chakras in the 5th dimension. Okay, very, very, very profound information, ladies and gentlemen. So here's another thing I want people to understand when I talk about the importance of this mummification process. If this mummification process was not important, here you have a mummy, okay, that was mummified in Egypt, and they tried to keep this secret, okay? Right here, you see the individual braids. You see the individual braids, okay? Which basically proves, when you look at the cheekbones, the eyebrow ridge, the head shape, and the braids, okay, this proves without a doubt that, you see what I'm saying, these pharaohs right here shared the same DNA lineage of the black people in America. Okay, here's the proof that they don't want you to know. It's right here. Okay, they can't hide it anymore. Okay, so like I was saying, for the people saying that this mummification process was not important, I will then reply by saying, why in the hell did our ancestors practice mummification on every single continent on this planet, on the earth? Okay, this right here is a mummy found in Egypt. This right here is a mummy of a giant, okay, of an Elohim. This is a mummy of an Elohim found in California, okay, in the 1800s. This right here, these right here are mummies that were found in South America. Okay, these were mummies that were found in South America. This was a mummy that was found in East India. Okay, this right here is a mummy that was found in Europe. Okay, this right here are mummies, are mummy heads of, okay, humans that were mummified in Australia. Not only in Australia, but all of the Pacific Islands and the Pacific Ocean. Okay, all of those cultures practiced mummification. Okay, starting with Australia and New Zealand. Okay, here you go. Okay, why was mummification practiced by all of our ancestors all over the world if mummification was not important? Okay, we have to start putting 2 and 2 together, start thinking with our heads, start thinking with our higher self, start using logic and common sense here. There were pyramids built on every continent. On our ancestors on every continent worshiped the sun. Our ancestors on every continent mummified their dead. Our ancestors on every continent paid homage to a female creator. That's why, okay, this earth, civilization on this earth started out as a matriarchy before it came into a patriarchy. Okay, so this shows at one time our ancestors all across the world built pyramids. They mummified their dead. They paid homage to a female universal creator, and they were under a matriarchy, a matriarchal system. Okay? And like I said, if you think this is bogus bullshit, just look at this information yourself, people. Just look at this information yourself. I am not talking out of my ass here. And I'm going to get to the really, really, really good part of this lecture. So just listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. Okay? Because these pictures show that these people were being mummified on every single continent. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, when Kemet was taken over 2,000 years ago, this was one of the big reasons why the reptilian humanoids and the demons that dwell in inner earth, they had to counteract. You see, because Kemet was the capital of the whole earth. Kemet was the financial and resource capital of the whole earth. So when it fell, the demons in inner earth, they had to stop our ancestors' power of interdimensional communication with spirits in the afterlife. They had to stop that. So what took place was, okay, they basically stopped mummification on every single continent. Wherever the Vatican took rulership on every continent on the earth, that is where they stopped mummification. They stopped mummification on every single continent on the earth, people. And that was to start, okay, these graveyards, the building of graveyards. But like I said, I also forgot to say that cats, not only were humans mummified, but cats and dogs were mummified, and the dinosaurs are ancient mummies as well. So like I was saying, the Vatican stopped the process of mummification so that graveyards can be built. So that graveyards can be built. And this is where it's going to get really deep, okay? So just listen very carefully. The Vatican stopped indigenous people all over the world from mummifying their dead to start up the graveyard system. And the graveyard system was created so we can make the morgue companies, okay, rich. We can make them rich, and we can make the hospitals rich, just like the morgue companies, the morgue business. And if you think it's bogus bullshit, the morgue business has to be an industry that is basically richer than the church, that is richer than the Christian church in the United States. Go look it up, because last time I checked, when our loved ones die, we end up paying anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000 for the cremation or the funeral. So if 5,000 to 10,000 people are dying in this country every day, for them to have a proper burial, that would cost $3,000 to $7,000, correct? So multiply that $3,000 to $7,000 times 5 to 10,000, okay, times 5 to 10,000, and that's how much these fucking morgue, this morgue business, that's how much this morgue business is making every day. Every day, people. The morgue business is making 5,000 times in between 5 and 10,000 every day. That's how much they're making every day on average. Okay? So they're right up there with your Christian church, with your Catholic church, as far as robbing the people. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting duped. We have been duped and robbed and hoodwinked. Plain and simple. Because what we are doing is we are setting our ancestors up. We're setting our loved ones up for reincarnation. Okay, when we throw them 6 feet under, we're setting them up for reincarnation. And their organs are being harvested by the global elite, by secret societies. Okay, the organs are being harvested. If you think that's bullshit, show me one construction site, okay, that is being made where graveyards are being expanded. Show me one site where there is construction work being done that shows graveyards being expanded. Show me one. You can't find it because they don't exist. Graveyards don't expand, and ever since graveyards came into the fruition after Kemet's fall, ever since graveyards came into fruition after Kemet's fall, graveyards have never expanded. Okay? Because they were set up for this very, very purpose that I'm talking about right now. The graveyard system is meant to rob the people blind of their money and to keep their loved one's body underground, so a secret fraternity, a secret society, a government agency, okay, that is performing organ trafficking, organ harvesting, they can easily dig up one of your loved ones and take one of their organs and sell it, okay, to a rich politician who needs the goddamn organ. Okay? If you think it's bullshit, okay, here you go. Here is the morgue. Here is the morgue industry right here, where you see all these dead bodies. And I'm willing to bet my last dollar that the individuals who work in this morgue industry, they get bribed. They get bribed more than some politicians to give out organs to these organizations. Okay? Hearts, livers, kidneys, eyeballs, okay? Intestines, lungs, okay? Brains, eyes, ears, teeth, all getting harvested. All getting harvested, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? It's not a game. This is not a game. And I'm going to break it down to you like this. Not only is this happening in the United States, this is happening in every country all across the world. This is global, people. This is global. Everybody in the world is being duped. We are not supposed to be burying our loved ones. We're supposed to be mummifying them. Because when we bury our loved ones, we're giving them back to the same goddamn government we're speaking against, just so they can harvest their goddamn organs and harvest their bodies, okay, for reptilian food, for food for the greys, and for organs for rich politicians. This isn't a game, people. It's not a game. And this is why, okay, they're charging people $3,000 to $7,000 just to have our loved ones buried. And when our loved ones are buried, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think that our ancestors are crossing over whole. I don't think that they're crossing over the fifth dimension whole, people. I don't think they're crossing over whole. I don't. Okay? Because when you're 6 feet under, your essence, okay, your essence is not on the surface of Earth. Okay? So your essence won't be able to reach a stargate. Your soul, your higher 7 chakras won't be able to reach a stargate when you're 6 feet under. 6 feet under, you see what I'm saying? Because they want you in the realm of the beast. They want you in the realm of the 666 carbon prism. which is a light prison, which is a prison for your soul. Okay? That's why they bury you 6 feet under. Okay? Your lower 6 chakras. They want you stuck here. They don't want you to rise up. They don't want you to go through the mummification process that your ancient ancestors went through and perfected. Okay, it's time to wake up. Because this morgue business, oh, you better bet your bottom dollar that what you see right here, okay, this is probably right before he's going to sell a couple of organs from this individual to somebody buying it, okay, for tens of thousands of dollars. Minimum. Okay? This guy right here has to be big balling, because he's selling individuals' temple. He's selling your loved one's temple, people. He's selling their body parts. This is why the graveyards do not expand, okay? And a lot of these people here you see are unmarked, and their whole body will probably be shipped to inner earth or secret underground bases to be harvested by interterrestrials, okay? It's not a game, people. It's not a game. This is why the graveyards haven't been expanding, people. They're not burning these bodies. They are giving them away to the fucking government, people. It's time to wake up. That's why the graveyards haven't been expanding. So when you think about it, when you think very carefully, okay, you don't want to mummify your ancestors, or you don't want to mummify your loved ones. You don't want to mummify your loved ones who passed away. Okay, you don't want to mummify them because you're scared of who you really are. You're scared of who your ancestors were. Okay, you're scared of getting back on track with nature, because mummification, in my opinion, was all part of a natural process. Okay, you don't want to indulge in what your ancestors tapped into. So you want to give your money. You want to give $3,000 to $7,000 to the goddamn morgue business, okay? Just so your loved one can be buried 6 feet under and the organs be taken out, okay? So your loved one can be in purgatory or be reincarnated, okay? You want to do that, okay? Just so the goddamn morgue business can basically sell your loved one's organs. Okay? That's what this is about, people. That's what this is about. You're telling me you want to pay $3,000 to $7,000 so your loved one can have their organs harvested and robbed and stolen. Okay? And more than likely, okay, a lot of people, your loved ones, they're not even in their coffin. I'm pretty sure if you do the experiment yourself and dig them up, they're not even in the coffin. So please, somebody tell me, why aren't the graveyards expanding? Somebody please tell me. Okay? This right here is why the Zionist Jews, they don't want the people across the world to start mummifying their dead again, because they're too fucking busy making hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars off of the organ harvesting business, because they want your loved ones buried so they can take their fucking organs. They don't want the people, okay, to bury their loved ones in a process known as mummification. Okay? They don't want you to put your loved ones in a tomb, you see, which sends your soul back to the galactic womb. You see what I'm saying? Because the tomb is nothing but sending the soul back to the womb. That's all that process is. Okay? And that process took 40 days. Okay? That's why it says it took Jesus' soul 40 days, okay, to enter the gates of heaven. And Jesus is really the sun in the sky, which is Horus. Okay, so when they talk about Jesus, they're talking about the people of the sun. They're talking about the melanated people on the earth. So when the melanated people on the earth, when they want to reach the afterlife, that process is going to take 40 days. So that's why the mummification process takes 40 days. Okay, very deep. It takes a little bit over a month for a soul to completely reach over into the afterlife. Okay, our ancestors knew this. That's why they all performed the mummification process across every continent on the earth. Okay, so like I said, the Zionist Jews, they want us to pay top dollar to put our loved ones in graveyards to make them rich. Okay, not only to make them rich, but so they can steal our loved ones' organs and make more tens of millions of dollars off of the organ trafficking business. Okay? They do not want our loved ones' organs to be put in canopic jars. Okay? They don't want our loved ones' organs to be placed in canopic jars. You see, because when you do that, you're able to communicate with your loved one that has basically been reached over into the afterlife. You'll be able to communicate with your ancestor or your loved one in the afterlife, okay, over into the fifth dimensional realm. This is very, very important, deep alchemy. This is very, very deep, important science here, people, okay? Your whole 6 chakras, your whole lower 6 chakras are supposed to stay here in the lower realm, okay? Everything else, okay, is supposed to be outside of the body. That's why the brain and the heart were taken outside of the body, okay? Because the electromagnetic energy surrounding the brain and the heart, that energy right there, that is going to have to go outside of the body, okay? So your essence, so your soul's essence can go through that stargate, okay? We are our pineal gland. We are our heart and our pineal gland, okay? That's why if you chop off somebody's arm, okay, if they get the proper treatment, they will survive. But if you take out their heart, or if you chop off their head, they are gone, because the two things, okay, that power our whole essence and are a part of our higher consciousness are our heart and our brain. Our heart and our brain. Those are the two most important organs in our body, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? That's why those weren't put in canopic jars, because the pieces of our chakra, the pieces of our soul essence, and those two organs, those have to hit the stargate. Those have to reach a stargate, okay, above the Earth's surface. When that happens, our loved ones, okay, if their heart is light as a feather, they'll be able to reach the afterlife, okay? So after death, our soul basically goes down into inner earth to be weighed, okay, by Anubis, the god of the underworld, by Anubis. That's why Anubis was the god of mummification, okay? Shows it right here. And if our heart was light as a feather, okay, we were able to go through the stargate necessary to get to the fifth dimension, okay, which is known as the afterlife, okay? So the heart was the most important piece of all of this, okay? The heart and the pineal gland, okay? Two most important organs in our body, okay? And our government that's ran by corrupted Zionist Jews. They don't want us to know this information. They don't want us to perform these mummification rituals that our ancestors did, okay, because they want to harvest our organs. They want to harvest our bodies. They want to harvest our energy, and they want to make money off of it, ladies and gentlemen, okay? So like I said, the choice is yours. You can either spend $5,000 to $7,000 just so your loved one's organs can get stolen, okay? So the reptilians and the Greys and the Zionist Jew bastards can live off of our relatives' organs, or, like I said, you can go back to the way our ancient ancestors did it, ladies and gentlemen. The choice is yours, okay? This information I'm relaying today is revolutionary on a global scale. On a global scale, because this organ harvesting phenomena, this organ harvesting business is satanic, demonic bullshit that's been going on for over 2,000 years all across the earth, on every continent, in every country. Because just like in America, the graveyards are not expanding in every other country, just like the graveyards aren't expanding in the United States. So what's going on, people? We have way more people dying, okay, than room that's being made for dead bodies in these graveyards. Okay, so where are these dead bodies going, people? Okay, start to study Dr. Layla Africa's work. Okay, Dr. Layla Africa is a genius. Okay. He was the first one who said it. The canopic jars are basically horcruxes. That's what you would call a horcrux in Harry Potter, because it is a holy relic. They are holy relics to tap into our loved ones that passed on to the fifth dimension, or that are dwelling in the underworld, okay? You will basically know where your ancestor is dwelling by performing this ritual, by undergoing this mummification process, okay? It is not a game, people. It is not a game. We have to get back to this science. We have to start studying this alchemy, this science of mummification. Very, very deep ritual, very deep information, because, ladies and gentlemen, burying our loved ones 6 feet under in the goddamn ground is not the answer. Our ancestors' souls, our loved ones' souls, do not reach the stargates above the earth, okay, when you bury them 6 feet under the ground, okay? This right here is a mummy in Egypt, okay? You can clearly see what his ethnicity was, okay? This right here was a Elohim mummy found in California. This right here, okay, were high priests that were mummified in South America, mummies in South America, mummies in East India, mummies in Europe, mummies in Australia, and in New Zealand, as well as the Pacific Islands. Okay, mummies all over there. Okay, even the cats and the goddamn dinosaurs were mummied. They were mummified. It's not a game, people. Okay, so like I said, this business right here, this whole graveyard business, this right here basically duped humanity right after Kemet fell over 2,000 years ago. Ever since mummification stopped and Kemet fell, that is when the graveyard business came into fruition. Go look it up, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? They've been harvesting and taking the organs ever since this shit started on a global level. On a global level. Okay? So that's basically going to sum up this information on this topic. My next video is going to be exposing what's taking place with these psyops in the NFL, and as well as the Rosetta Stone, the science behind the Rosetta Stone. So I appreciate everyone who supports RFG and Atlantean movement. Please like and share, subscribe. I appreciate everyone who supports what I'm doing. We're all in this together. Like, share, subscribe. It's the chosen one, man. I am out.